What's up, guys? Welcome back to ClevverTV's Breaking Dawn Book Club. I'm Joslyn Davis, and I am so excited to have joining us in the studio two experts who know a thing or two about the Twilight Saga. We have our favorite guest, joined us many times, Bridget Daly from ClevverMusic.
What's up, guys?
Back.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, and all the way from New York City, one of our favorite ladies to follow on Twitter, as well as over on TVGuide.com. It's Robyn Ross.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Did you fly all the way here just for the Breaking Dawn Book Club?
Of course.
I love it.
I would try hard.
And even though you're in the TV world, you still are a fan of the books.
Definitely.
Who's not, right?
Absolutely.
So today we're going to be breaking down chapters 9 and 10. And for those of you guys who have been following the book club, you know that portions of the book are told in sort of the POV of different characters. And right now we're all up in Jacob's business. So this chapter, chapter 9, is called Sure as Hell Didn't See That One Coming. So can we just talk about the chapter names first? I love how suddenly now that it's in Jacob's point of view, these chapter names are just crazy.
They're like dude talk.
Yeah,
I know, right? It's so funny. And poor Jacob. This guy cannot catch a break. He stops by his house. Billy asks him not to go away, you know, because he's obviously pretty devastated about this whole situation. Wants him to leave the Cullens alone, but Jake, not having any of it, takes off on his motorcycle to kill Edward and the Coven. So dramatic. I can't wait to see this in the movie.
I know.
Do you think he'll have a shirt on?
I hope not.
I was just going to say, you know, I'm so glad that we're talking about these chapters because I'm totally Team Jacob.
You are. I
am.
love that.
I always have been. So I'm so excited that we have a little Jacob and Bella moment to talk about.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out in the movie because a lot of it was in his head in these chapters.
Exactly.
In wolf thoughts. So I'm
true.
curious to see how they're going to
like voiceover
portray that.
or pure emotion, who knows. So he gets to, as I like to call it, Casa Cullen, the Cullen house, and Carlisle meets him outside, you know, because they're obviously on the defense. They know he's coming or whatever. But Bella asks for him to come inside, which is sort of surprising. I don't know. They left things off kind of in a melancholic way at the wedding. Bella's obviously pregnant. Everyone is around her, and I love this, you guys. The way that he figures out she's human is by smelling her.
Yeah. I know, it's so wrong.
I know, it's so crazy.
It's because, of course, the vampires can smell the wolves. They're like, you smell like a dog.
Yeah.
Right.
Which, I mean, ew. They need to be like a 3D or 4D version so you can really get that going, you know?
But he totally doesn't figure out that she's pregnant right away.
No, not at all. I mean, if you were 17, 18 years old, I don't think that's your first guess.
Exactly.
Right.
He probably just thought
That's
she
true.
was dying, you know? I mean, she looks terrible. Something's obviously wrong.
She does look really, really sickly in the trailer.
Right.
They've done a great job portraying
Yeah.
this. And then she goes on to reveal her huge shocker. I'm pregnant with a
Baby
half
belly.
vampire baby. You know, wow, talk about a jaw dropper.
Yeah.
Right there. So Jacob's clearly devastated, but then this is where things get really crazy when Edward calls him outside. Were you guys surprised by the conversation that they had?
Worst idea ever, first of
Yeah.
all. Like anyone would ever go through with that. Why don't you just ask her to have your baby and that'll solve the problem?
So weird.
I mean, it's crazy, and I love that you're Team Jacob because we've had a lot of people Team Edward on the show.
No.
Did you feel bad for Jacob, or were you kind of like, good idea?
No, I felt bad for him because first of all, Bella would never go through with it.
Yeah.
And second of all, it's just only going to hurt him more. I mean, he will do anything for this girl, so you know he's sort of weighing his options.
So Edward needs Jacob, which it's not the first time that he's needed Jacob.
Yeah, it's
but
not.
this time the situation is really serious, and of course he talks Jacob into saying, hey, let's, get rid of this baby, but you guys can have a baby later. Did you ever, for an instance, I know you said you didn't think Bella would go through with it, but did you ever think Bella would go for it?
Yeah, like throughout this entire series, I kept thinking like, oh, maybe Bella will leave Edward. And I think that's just me like being a closeted Team Jacob fan too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
you.
he's so cute. He's so nice.
I know.
I mean, I just really never
P.S.
knew
way
it was gonna
hotter. I'm sorry. People are going to hate me for it.
It's okay. It's honestly your opinion, and that's what this book club is all about, people.
I
So Jacob goes along with this insane plan, which which he knows is insane, but he's just so blinded by love, as they both are, that I think that's kind of, there was never even a question that he wouldn't go along with it. Now, as quickly as he goes over there to kill him, like I said, he has changed his mind. Now he's going to father her child. And I just thought it was interesting that they agreed on something. So I feel like they're always butting heads. I don't know.
Well, there was I remember that scene in the last one where they were all camping out overnight, and then they finally sort of came to
in the tent.
Yes, and it was so funny. But they came to an understanding that they were there to protect Bella, and I guess it's sort of the same thing. At the end of the day, they both love her so much that they will put aside that they're opposite species, to come together for her.
Exactly.
Right.
So now we're going on to chapter 10, and another great chapter name, ladies. Why didn't I just walk away? Oh, right, because I'm an idiot.
I like that.
I mean,
question, answer.
Yeah.
Exactly, and it's totally something Jacob would say.
Right.
Clearly makes sense. Total boy speak. So Edward leaves Jacob and Bella to have some alone time, and poor Jake, he tries desperately to get Bella to reconsider having the baby. She tells him about her plan, which is, to keep her heart beating as long as possible so that she can turn into a vampire. I mean, seriously. I mean,
she thinks she can't die.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I mean, do you think hanging out with vampires and werewolves would sort of make you feel a little bit immortal?
Definitely. She feels like she's invincible at this point. Just so many people around her that are protecting her that she probably doesn't realize the severity of her situation.
Exactly. It's really fascinating when you think about it like that. So then he fills Bella in on Edward's idea that maybe they can have a baby together. I mean, this is just wild.
Yeah.
Maybe down the road.
So she is shocked. Bella is shocked by not necessarily what Jacob's saying, but initially she's shocked by Edward's desperation. This is a pretty desperate move.
Yes.
And once again, we've been talking about this for a while. We're seeing a whole new Bella in Breaking Dawn, like this more bold and powerful version of herself. And I think now with this pregnancy, don't you guys agree? She is stronger and more intense than ever.
Definitely.
Yeah, protecting the baby inside. And then again, Jake is rejected yet.
Time and time again.
Poor guy.
I mean, what's it gonna take for this guy to realize? I don't know. He is in love.
I'll tell you what it's going to take, and it's coming soon.
It is coming soon. Thank God we've actually read the whole book. Otherwise, this is getting pretty depressing.
Because it gets so depressing. I know. And I just keep picturing, once you know that it's Taylor Lautner, too, you're like, oh, but I feel so bad. He's so cute.
Should he have cut her out this time? That's the question I was thinking of. Because he just keeps coming back for more. Do you guys think that this is the time that he should have been like, enough is enough, I'm done with you?
I mean, realistically,
right?
Yeah, he should have probably been like that a really long time ago, though.
But does that happen in real life?
Not really.
No, when you're that age. Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. How many times have you gone back to a guy who is a loser?
Yeah.
Not that Bella's a loser.
Yeah, not at all.
No, not at all. Not that that's the case here. But I think people can really relate to that. Just not being able to let someone go. He goes back to the pack, and Sam decides at this point to go against what he'd said previously and say that, okay, now it is time to attack. But of course now, Jake's back on the Bella train, and he and Seth, how cute is Seth, guys?
Love Seth.
Oh, he's adorable.
Yeah.
Like, just such a little nugget.
Yeah.
The word that everybody's using. And Sam tries to force them as the alpha. And this is, I want to say this is the first time that we really see Jake really stand up to him. I mean, we've seen some other instances, but here, this is where you start to see them like really, really separate. And lots of wolf thoughts going on. That's sort of how this whole portion of the book goes down. Why do you guys think that they decide to attack now?
Well, whereas before they didn't know that she was pregnant, right? They just thought she was sick. That's what they had heard. So I guess, I mean, it's just a whole new threat to them because I think they've witnessed or dealt with baby vampires in the past, and they know that they're like wicked and way more volatile, I think, than grown vampires. So I guess that completely changes their meaning, their
perception of like what's going to go down, what's going to happen. And I really just think they don't even know what's coming because they know that she's still human, but they haven't ever dealt with any sort of species of this sort. A hybrid, yes, good word choice.
Exactly.
I like that. And the treaty doesn't cover this. So the fact
Right.
that they're going to attack now is also a really bold move on the part of the wolves. What do you guys think about the fact that Jake here says or thinks, you know, killing Bella would be like committing suicide for him? What do you think that means?
I think maybe it has something to do with the imprinting thing, because he kind of like this whole time thought that he imprinted on her.
Or wanted to.
Yeah,
It was
he
like
really
willing himself to.
Yeah, he like
Yeah.
wanted so bad to have her as his mate, like for life, but it just wasn't happening. So maybe he thought that like he would lose a part of himself. Like if she's not around, then like what's the point of living, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right. I fully agree.
Of course, this is a very interactive series that we're doing, the book club. So we always ask the viewers for their comments. So we actually hit Facebook and Twitter to ask our viewers what they thought when Jake and Edward teamed up to try to talk Bella out of having the baby. And we heard from over on Twitter, one of our viewers at Dacia Source said, first off, they became closer, talking about the guys. And Edward is out of his mind for suggesting Bella to have a baby with Jake. He is out of his mind.
Clearly.
We agree on that.
Yeah.
Desperate guy. And then over on Facebook, Colin Gear had a very fascinating comment. Probably one of my favorites. Very aggressive comment. But, you know, that's what this is all about. Colin said, it's her body. They should back right off. It's her choice to keep a creepy demonic fetus inside of her. Power to the people. Right? Word.
Pro-choice.
Word, Colin, word. Then we have Erica Davalos, who said, I thought it was sweet. I bet it's so hard for Jacob to be there for someone you love and still not win her love. It's very selfless of him. At this point, you know, he's not going to get her. She's pregnant, which like seals the deal, right? Let's face it. Like when someone gets married and has a baby,
Maybe you're not going to get them back.
Yeah.
Well, he never had her,
Yeah.
but yeah.
they're together.
Now, and not only does he not have the girl, he's going against his wolf pack.
Exactly. So he's losing his
risking
family.
a lot, yes.
Exactly. So what would you ladies stuck out to you most about these chapters? What was the highlight for you?
I like to stay away from the drama when I pick my favorite things, and I'm gonna stick with Rosalie.
Okay.
Again, I know that was a really small little part, but I think that it was important.
Yeah.
Especially since we're dealing so much with Jake and Edward in these chapters. I really like to see that little snippet, that part of Bella, like how she was being taken care of while they were figuring out everything out and all that mess was happening. Like, you know that someone's in there with her at all times. Because think about Bella. She's the one that's suffering here. You think about Jake and you feel really bad for him. You feel bad for Edward because, of course, his wife is going through this. But poor Bella has a demonic fetus inside of her. Colin.
I love it, Colin. Shout out to you.
So, I mean, I just like the fact that Rosalie was being very selfless.
It's like a tender moment
Yeah.
in this darkness. Yeah. What about you, Robyn?
I like the Jacob-Edward interaction.
Yeah.
It's so awkward that it just makes for such great moments, especially even worse that Edward can read his thoughts. That totally sucks because,
You can never have a private, personal moment.
I
ever.
know. Yeah.
Ah, I'm so glad that hopefully no one can do that now. They are. Sorry. So crazy.
I know.
So you guys definitely want to weigh in on those highlights from our two lovely correspondents here. And then I actually want to leave you guys with a true false, as I do occasionally. My question is, this new rejection from Bella towards Jake, is this the worst rejection? I say yes, this is the worst rejection, but I want you guys to hit me up and let me know if you think that is true or false. I don't know. Only time will tell in the comment section, I guess. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you
I
so
want
much,
to make sure that our viewers know where to catch you because
Yes.
she is covering all of the most awesome shows out there in the TV world. Vampire Diaries, one of our faves.
Yes.
We die for it.
I know, we love the same stuff.
We do.
So,
We're on the same page.
Yes.
So what's your Twitter so people out there
so
can follow
it's
you?
Robyn Ross, ROBYN, ROSS, TVG as in TV Guide.
Cool.
At Twitter. So Robyn Ross TVG at Twitter. You can follow me and say what's up.
Tons of cool stuff over at tvguide.com
Yes.
as well. And then, of course, Bridget Daly. You know where to find her over at ClevverMusic. You got to subscribe for all the details on the soundtrack, which have just emerged.
Yeah, we have a big story up right now on our channel, so make sure you check it out.
Very, very cool. Thank you guys for joining me.
Thank you for
Today.
having
It was
us.
really fun. And all of you guys out there watching, thank you so much for sticking with us and joining the Breaking Dawn Book Club. Make sure to come back every single Saturday leading up to the big premiere. I'm Joslyn Davis, and we'll see you later.